we go. That's rolling. Okay, so I'll play the Stool of Repentance a couple of times, moderate tempo. And I want you guys to really listen. Woo! Oh, I have to retune because I drove my pegs back in. Just be 1 second. But maybe you guys can listen to me tuning so you can see if anybody ever has problems tuning their fiddle. This is the correct order of operation. You start with the A. And when I tune my A, I play it a whole bunch with lots of big bow, and then I let my bow come off of it, and I see what the tuner thinks. And so I'm good there. Then I play my A and my D together. Find that perfect fifth. I'm good. Now I'm going to do my G. That's good. And now I'm going to do my E. Woo! Now the E is quite flat from my driving in the pegs shenanigans. So now listen to me bring it in. Everybody hear that kind of come together there, that perfect fifth? So that's the proper way to tune your fiddle, okay? For now, you probably just tune each string to this tuner, which is also fine, but just make sure you start on the A so you don't make your bridge do something weird without you knowing it and fight your fiddle for the rest of the night to trying to get it in tune and stay in tune, and that's why. So always start with the A, leave the E till the end. Now, let me play this Stool of Repentance. Oh. Okay, everybody got that now? Now I should check the book. Maybe Deborah could help me. The people play this tune. Some people start it the way I did with the dee ba dee dee
Yeah, you started on the B part.
Okay, so it's like half and half. People start it both ways. Whenever I played it when I was a kid, it was always starting on that part. But I know that in Sandy's book, I think that's the A part or the B part.
It is. So the part I play, like da 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 da, well, you backwards too.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the way I learned it.
Okay,
And it was
so
Andy's book, I guess.
sure, yeah, for sure. So I'm going to play it one more time that way so that we have a recording of that way because I think that might be the more common way around here, okay? So I'll play this just switched around. Okay, so that's the other way around. Anyway, so that's great. So now, before we start, does anybody want to say anything or have any questions about the Stool of Repentance before we start? No? It's in the key of A. And I don't know if everybody make sure you know what that means, but maybe we could run up and down a quick A major scale before we start, okay? And that starts down on the low G, sorry, on the low A, it's on the G string, first finger on the G string. And remember, for the key of A, we got to stretch our third finger on the G string to get C sharp, and the third finger on the D string to get G sharp. But then on the A and the E, we're back to regular old first position. Okay, so let's give that a try. Good scale to learn for Scottish music. Ready, and... Okay, how did that go there, everybody? No, not very good? Let's do it again, okay? Now, I'm going to tell you one thing about playing in the key of A. The note, the low A on the fiddle, is the first note up from the bottom, unless you include A flat, which we don't really play that very much. So the A is the first interval that we have on the fiddle, G to A. It's also one of the notes that ring out on the fiddle when they're in tune. Here's an A in tune. You hear how it's still going? And here's an A out of tune. Not near as much of a ring. You see that? So you want to look for that ring. Make sure it's bang on comfortably, and we'll try that again. Okay? Ready? A. Now, did that go better? Better that time? Great. Okay. Now, let's try the arpeggio for the key of A. Okay? And for anybody that's not familiar, that's going to be the first finger, that's the A, then the C sharp, the 3, then the first finger on the D string, and then we got the upper octave, open A, and then the 2, the E, and then the 3 at the top. Okay, that's how we do the A major arpeggio. But if you want a little bit easier way to remember it, with arpeggios, one octave is always going to be the even number or the odd number fingers, and the other octave is always going to be the even number fingers. Always. Okay? And this is no different. The lower octave is the 1, 3, 1. The upper octave is the open, 2, open. And then if I were to keep going, it would be 3, 1, 3 if I had extra strings. You see what I mean? So that's how all arpeggios work. So it takes out some of the guesswork. Anyway, let's give that a try. Oh, I should say, this is all in first position. When you go up to third position, it gets a little bit different. But in first position, it's like that. Let's try the A major arpeggio. So we got the 1. Got the 3. Got the 1. Got the open A. 2. E. 3. Opening again. A2. Open A. D1, G3, stretch it, and then the 1. Okay, how'd everybody do with that? The bows looked pretty confident. That's good. Let's do it again to be sure, Okay? Okay, a 1, 2, and here. Oh, Deb's back. Seemed like maybe a dog emergency. It seemed like that to me. Okay, let's do it. A 1, 2, arpeggio. All right, how we doing? Now, anybody have any questions or problems? Is that impossible for anybody? Is it hopeless? Any casualties? No? It's good? You got a question, Simone? You look like you have a question. You're making that move that looks like the mute button move. You know what I mean? Okay, why don't we try the whole thing a little bit faster? Scale followed by arpeggio. See how we do, okay? Scale first. A 1, 2, here we go. That's pretty good. Oh, arpeggio. Ready, and... Okay, how's that feeling that time? All right? Great. Okay, so let's think about this tune in the Stool of Repentance now. So it starts on the high A. And it's actually the A part, is actually quite simple. And then the ending is the same as the B part. And that's it. That's all there is. Ooh. Tend to be going sharp. Okay. All right. So that's the A part there. I'll do it again real slow. So we got the high A, and then the E, C, and then back to the E, and then we scale down from A to the C. See that? Let's try that. We got the high A and the open E, and then you go over to the C, and then back to the open E, and then we'll scale down from the high A, stopping at C. Let's give it a try. Ready, and A, E, C, E, A, G, F, E, D, C. Okay, did we get that little lick? It's just basically an arpeggio and a scale, right? Tunes are made of scales and arpeggios. So let's try that again. E3 and then open. Ready, and A2, E, 3, 2, 1, E, B, C. Okay, that's good. One more time. Ready, 2, and. Okay, that's good, that's good. Now the next phrase, phrase number 2, goes between the A and the F. Very simple. 3, 1, 1, 1. Open. And then we got 1, 3, 2, 1. Open. See, very simple. 3, 1, 1, 1. So let's give that a try. 3, 1, 1, 1. Open. Ready, go. One, 3, 2, 1. Open. That's good. That looked good. Let's do it again. Ready, and 3, 1, 1, 1. Open. 1, 3, 2, 1. Okay. And you notice how I do a little grace note there. Now, I don't know, you don't have to do it, that's for sure. But if you're so inclined and you can get it in there, I do a little grace note between the 1 and the open. See that? Very common move. I do it all the time. See that? Very common and handy move. So let's try it again, see if you can get that little blippy in there. Okay, nice and easy now. Ready, and 3, 1, 1, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1. Open. Okay? And then we do the first phrase again. And then we do the ending, which we have not yet learned. Okay, so that's the A part there. So let's see if we can go first phrase, second phrase, first phrase again. All right, and then we'll stop there and we'll get the ending. Okay, so let's get your guns up and see if we can get through this. Ready, 2, go. 3, open, 2, open, 3, 2, 1, E, 3, 2. 3, 1, 1, 1. Open. 1, 3, 2, 1. Open. 3. Open. 2. Open. 3. Down we go to C. And then we go back up. So we go back up the scale D, E, F, E, and then we do that 1, 3, down we go. Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. So let's get the climb up. We got a D, and it's a long D, and then an E, a long F, and then an E, and then we got 1, 3, A2, okay, so let's try that again. Up the scale from D. So D, E, F, E, F, A, C, B, A. And you can see the B is also the long note in that passage. Now, you know, the nice thing about jigs and reels is that we basically deal with eighth notes and quarter notes. That's it. So when I say the B is the long note, that means that it's a quarter note, whereas all the other ones are eighth notes. See what I mean? Very simple. It's good to boil these things down. So that ending again is... Let's try that together. So D, up we go. Ready, 2, and D, E, F, E, F, A, C, B, A. Oh Oh, that looked good. Do it again. Ready to go. D, E, F, E, F, A, C, B, A. Are we getting there? Yeah? Now, I never believe anybody. So does anybody want to try playing that ending for me so I can make sure people are getting it? Yes, Stacy, I know you'd be up for it. Anybody that farms karate goats is up for it.
Okay. Just the ending there, Dan?
Just the ending, yeah. Very good, Stacy. Right on. Now, I should tell you, you did all the fingers right, but your hands seem to be up the violin a little bit too much.
Okay.
Making you sharp.
I took your advice and I'm against a door jam, but maybe too close.
No, not your right arm. Your right arm would look good. That's great. I meant your left. Yeah, it's this. I call it the Great Northern Migration. See that?
Oh, no.
It happens to lots and lots of people, especially if it's a tune that goes, uses all four strings a lot, and you start moving around the neck and up you go. It's like one of those Christmas toys with the guy that shimmies up the flagpole, eh? So I call it what's that?
My arm is twisting, sort of?
Yeah, it's caused by clutching onto the fiddle. And then when you do move from string to string, you end up shimmying up the neck without realizing it. Okay? So I find it best to just think about relaxing back to place all the time. Because it's tension that brings you up there. Okay? Otherwise, you got it, man. Right on. So now, let's put our helmets on, get our guns up, and go right from one end of this thing to the other. Okay? Don't stop for any reason. Even if you're attacked by an alien, just keep playing it because they'll end up liking it after, I'm sure. Okay? So E3. Ready, and... Back up. Okay. Now that looked like it kind of worked okay. All I have is the look, but I'm getting to know the look real good over the last year of teaching on this damn thing. And so that looked pretty confident. Let's do it again right away. Oh, 1, 2, go. 3, 1. 1, 3, 2, 1. 3. Back up. Again. E3. Back up. Okay, looking pretty good. Who wants to be first victim to play it for me? Go ahead, Susan. Hey, very good. So I noticed something right off the bat there, Susan. That was like almost completely bang on in tune. I don't know if you noticed that. But my tuner here, my little tunable app, was very happy about that. You were getting green screen the whole time. Very good. Yeah, and I liked your little grace note too. Very good. You know, that's the thing. These grace notes and stuff, you have many opportunities during the A part to get it in. So you don't have to get them all in, and especially if you're only just trying to do an ornament like a grace note, then you just make a goal of doing one. Like I love that, what Susan did, the very last one. So you can spend the whole part going, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do the grace note. I'm not going to do this one, but I'm going to do that next one, you know? And then the nice thing about this music is there's so much repetition, you'll always get another chance if you don't get it, okay? Now, anybody else want to try it before we take the grinder to it and do it about 300 times? So go ahead, Simone. Your mom wants you to do it. It'd be good because I haven't heard you at all. Yeah, I knew it. I knew it. A brave violist. That's all right. Nice, and you got the dot in there too.
I was cheating.
Well, that's quite all right. Now, that sounds good. You probably noticed, but I think your hand does remember viola spacing a tiny bit because your 1 was bang on and your 3 was sharp. Did you notice that?
Honestly, I didn't.
It's okay, I'm here to help, don't worry. But yeah, so shortening up that gap is going to do it for you.
Okay.
Okay, very good. Awesome. Anyone else? Calada, you want to give it a go? You sure? It was a stretch, I know. Anybody else? Melanie, no? I knew that already. How about you, Sephra? You want to do it? No? Okay. Let's take the grinder out, shall we? We'll do it about 300 times, and then we should have it. Okay. 1, 2, 3, go! Again! Last time. All right, how we feeling? Is it working? Good, good, good. Working, good. How about you, Melanie? Yeah, it's going to work? Okay, that's great. Shall we get the second part? Unless, is there any questions at all about that? Any of that? Any of the phrases or the, yeah?
So when, I mean, I do know it, but I don't know it.
Okay.
I mean, it's just in my head that I just know it by sound.
Yeah.
So when I'm trying to do a grace note, because I know it by sound, then I lose my place.
Yeah. Well, you know what though? If that, first of all, keep trying it. You know, you'll stop losing your place. Take one of them, make it your goal. The one at the end is great because you're already done. You're going to be done when you play it. You know what I mean? But you might lose your place, but just hop in on the next phrase. And then the next time we come around, you might not lose it. You know what I mean? The other thing is it's good to know how it goes with the melody. So if I can play it both ways for you. Here's without ornaments. Here it is with. You starting to understand how it works in there? So it's between the last two Fs. Or sorry, between the last F and the E. Okay, and like I said, that's a very common move for me to do that. When I'm going between the 1 and the open, I very often put a grace note in there. Okay, I don't know why. Many people do. It's amazing how much of this stuff is involuntary. I remember seeing Kevin Burke over in Ireland teaching a workshop, and he's a great teacher. He's really involved. He's really attentive to what you're trying to do with the fiddle. And just like many of us, we don't know how we do things. You know, people ask us, "How do you do this?" I don't know. I've been doing it since I was 10. My father never showed me how to do a cut in my life. He just kept asking me if I had it yet. You know. So you have to really kind of figure out exactly what's going on. And me and Dad sat in on one of Kevin Burke's workshops where he played a tune. I think it was the Rambling Pitchfork. And then the lady asked him about the ornaments, and he went like this. And he thought it, and he thought, and he said, "I think I do this, but no, that doesn't seem right. No, I think it's actually, I do this usually, but sometimes I do this," you know? It's amazing. But anyway, so that's where it goes, and it happens all the time. If you get into the habit of doing it, you might end up doing it involuntarily as well yourself sometime, you know? That's the nice thing about it. Anyway, so let's see about the B part. If there's no more questions about the A part, let's see about the B part. So, it has this kind of Irish washerwoman sound to it. But then it takes a serious Scottish twist. Okay, so that's the A and the B part. It's very simple. So the first bit there, again, it's the same setup. Phrase 1, phrase 2, phrase 1 again, and then that ending that we already know. So we got C-A-A, E-A-A, C-A-A, E, down we go. Okay, let's try that together. Ready, and... Oh, that looked good. Do it again. Ready, 2, go. 2 A A E A A 2 A E A 3 A2. Okay. Yep, that's it. That's it. Very good. You getting that? One more time. Ready, 2, go. C A A E A A C A E D C. That's looking good. Then we do exactly the same idea, but we switch keys. We go D, B, B. F, B, B. D, B, B. F, down we go. See that? We just move the whole thing up a note and do it there. Okay, so let's try that. 3, 1, 1 on the A string. And then 1, 1, 1. Ready? And go. 3, 1, 1. 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, open, 3. Okay, very good. Let's do it again. 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Ready, and 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 1, 1, open, A3, first phrase again. Up we go. Yep, that's how it works there. See, I snuck that in and then we're done. See how that works? So let's do all that, shall we? We'll do the whole B part, okay? So it starts with the 2 in the open, and then the next one is the 3 and the 1. Okay? So 2, open, open. Ready, 2, go. Three, one, 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 three, one, down we go. 2, open, 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 open. 2, open, open. E, down we go. Back up. Again, 2, open, open, E, open, open. That's looking pretty good there, guys. Now, we've learned the tune. Who does not have the music right now? Okay. Melanie, have you got music for that? You do. Okay, so I'm going to take a picture of it out of Sandy's book, and I'm going to email it to you guys right now. All right? While I grab the book, which is right over there, why don't you guys see if you can put that tune together on your own. See if you can go right from one part to the next part, see what happens. What's the worst that can happen, right? We're locked down. Nothing bad can really happen. Safety of your own home. So I'm going to grab that and email it out. Oh, it's right here. Oh, that's great. Excellent. Let's see. Where's Stool of Repentance? This one, very first. Yes, very first section. Neil Gow, there you go. Jeez. In those days, life was rough. There was a lot of repentance, especially in Scotland. Okay. So this is going out to Sephra. And who else? Bev. Okay, and Stacy. That Piper. Okay. Everybody else have it? I got you. Okay, off it goes. Oh wait, I guess I have to put a subject.
Oh, I don't have it.
Okay, Calendar, I'll get it to you. Stool Repentance. My God, what a title, eh? Okay, so that's Calida. So that's Craig.
So I have that on page 7 of Sandy's book, but where's the swallowtail? Is it in Sandy's book too? What page is it on?
Which one?
The swallow. What was the second one called?
Oh, I didn't say a second one yet.
No, you know what? I'm on page 7 and it's not there. It says it's there, but it's not there.
Well, here, I'll email it to you too, Deborah.
It's under Skyboat Song.
Yeah, it's under Cock of the North.
Oh, there it is.
The very it's in that beginner section of the book that's not yeah.
Got it.
Okay, anyway. So it's gone, and so you guys should have it as soon as it makes it to the satellite and back. You should be good to go. And we'll try the whole thing. Okay, we'll stretch out the whole tune. Anybody now, in your efforts while I was doing that scanning, did anybody have success trying to go right from one end to the other and wants to play it for us? No? Okay, that's all right. I'm going to be more ruthless in the future, though. I like people to play for me because I already know the tunes. You know what I mean? I already know it. Okay, let's start her off there, guys. Let's get our helmets on. See how far we can get before it's steaming wreckage. Okay. A 1, 2, here we go. Second part. Again. Alrighty. Now, I was looking at people's bows and fingers. Well, some people I can't see your fingers, but I can definitely see everybody's bows. And I thought that was going real good. I didn't see a lot of frustrated expressions, or I didn't see anybody bashing their fiddle against their countertop or anything like that. So I take that as a positive. So how does everybody feel about that?
I'm cheating. I'm reading the music now.
That's all right. No, the idea with that is if you get the phrases in your head, then I bet you now with the music you're probably doing much better, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it really makes a huge difference. I've discovered it just with this Zoom thing. It's like a combo. You know, you go through the phrases, and then when you have the music there, it's just like that. And it's more likely to stick in your head. The biggest thing about remembering a tune is the opening phrase. That's the biggest, most important thing. So if you learn that opening phrase by ear, you got half of the battle right there.
So they've got 3 notes that are like a pickup that we're not playing it in Sandy's book.
That's right. Yeah, you can play it or not play it. Still, you can play it. Like here, I'll give you the example here. Now that would be really good if I was going into it from another tune, right? Okay. But if I was starting the set of tunes, I would much rather go. See, it's a more stronger start. And that's the thing about pickup notes. Sometimes they're important to start. Other times they're actually meant for joining up.
And it looks like he's got like about 6 grace notes through this thing.
Yep. So now that one grace note that you're seeing there, that's a very kind of Scotchy thing where they go. That kind of do it too, but it's kind of more, I do it kind of like that. You hear that? It's a similar thing because I'm kind of picking up my finger and letting that G sound. See that? Same with the other one there. Oh no, that other one is what is the grace note I was showing you. Except he does it earlier. And that's another thing, you know, these grace notes and rolls and double stops and different ornaments are a very personal thing. You hear two different people do it two different ways.
What's that wave sync symbol mean?
That is the sign for an ornament. And it's whatever you can get in there, basically, you know. For this, I would just go, I do a double stop. See that? Now, if you saw that in Irish music, you would do a roll. That's the sign that they use for a roll, which is an Irish ornament. But there's no time to do a roll there. A roll takes a dotted quarter note to go by. So I would just do that little double stop or a blip. A single cut. That's what I showed you before. See that? You do that too. But that's what that sign means. It just means do something. Okay?
Thanks.
Yeah. Any other questions? No? Okay. Let's run it. Okay. Yeah. Sephra had to leave. She had something going on at 8. Oh, I actually ran her over. Hope she's not late. Okay, anyway, so let's do it. Let's take the grinder to it. We're going to do the whole thing a little tiny bit faster, and we'll do it a good couple of times. How's everybody's arm? You all right for that? A good couple of times in you? Oh, 1, 2, 3, and... One more. All right, now that looked pretty good. How's everybody feeling about that? All right? Are there any brave souls that would play us the whole thing? Huh? Anyone? Anyone? Karate Goat Farmer? You want to try it? Why not?
You only live once, right?
That's right, and it's good for me because it's my only opportunity to know if anybody actually learned it on Zoom.
Oh my god. Do you want me to play like the A part? Do you want me to play it its entirety, like AA then BB or what?
Please do. Go ahead. Might as well. It's okay.
Sorry. Got a little bit lost there.
That's okay. No, you definitely have it. You know, you have what they say that you have the bones. Okay?
Yeah.
And that's all you need because I think what threw you off, especially in the second part, was that your bow was going onto strings that it wasn't meant to go on. And I'm looking at you while you're playing. You're mainly in the middle of the bow. Right here. Okay? Now that's kind of challenging in a couple of ways. Because when you're in the middle of the bow, you have the tip to deal with. It wants to flop over. See that? So you got to keep her down. The other thing is when you're in the middle of the bow, a tiny move at elbow level puts you on the next string. See that? Right away. When you're down here, it's not so much. It's a finer movement. See? And they call this part of the bow the fiddling sweet spot. And that's how mostly where I play. See that? And it's because fiddle players are very lazy. I haven't had a job in a long time. So with that part of the bow, you can just lay the bow on the string and without any work at all, it gives me a decent sound. See that? When I'm down here, I have to do lots of adjustment work to make sure I'm not digging in too much or kind of too much weight into the bow or not enough. And so I got to kind of be dexterous, and it's like driving in a snowstorm, you know? Whereas here, I can just kind of plunk her and leave her, you know? So you might consider the fact that you're doing the doorway is really going to help. Keep that up.
Okay.
Okay? Very good. Thank you for doing it. Right on. Anybody else want to give it a go now that you've seen the brave karate goat farmer do it? Bev's going to do it. I knew it. I know. I was just waiting.
Okay. My music is the music is rotated, so this isn't whatever.
Okay. Awesome. Very good, Bev. All right. Now that's excellent. So I'm really happy. I think everybody's pretty well got it. Shall we grind it a little bit more? Oh, who's going to... Somebody else want to play it? I thought somebody was chiming in there. No? What about you, Simone? You want to give it a go? You sure? Okay, that's all right. So let's grind away at it a little bit more. Let's play it a little tiny bit faster. Maybe at the speed Bev was doing. Yuppity diddle dee, yuppity diddle dee da. Okay, and just hang on for dear life. Keep that helmet on. All right. Don't stop the bow until I do. And we'll do it twice for the practice. A 1, 2, 3, go! faster. All right. Sorry about that. Little surprise at the end. But you know, faster is always the tester. You go fast and stuff might go wrong, but that's okay because that's just showing you what's still weak about the tune. Whether it's a pickup note that you're not sure of or a phrase that you thought started on a different note, there's always going to be something. There's always, like, I knew a guy that used to say, there's always a note that won't go in or a note that won't come out. And so when you go fast, it shows you those things. So whenever you go fast, you have problems, just pay attention. When you go back to the slow, that's going to be where you're still unsure. Okay? So how did everybody do with the fast there? It looked okay. A little surprising, but people carried on. Was it okay? That's great. Excellent. Now, is there any more questions about that Scottish tune? Anything or comments or queries or concerns?
So, Dan, what's the basic difference between the Scottish and the Irish tunes? Like, if you wanted to verbalize it, what is it about?
Well, you know, first of all, a lot of Scottish music is in A, the key of A. That's one of the big distinguishing things. But, I mean, that's a good question, Bev. Like, lots of people have tried to answer that question. When my dad went over to Ireland in 1990, right, he came back, and it was his first trip. And I said, Dad, you got to tell me, what's the difference between them and us? You know, the way they play and the way we play. And he said, well, what I noticed is every time we do this, they do this. Which basically means that all of their ornaments, the Irish ornaments, are mostly done with the left hand. Okay? Whereas for the Scottish, we do everything rhythmically with the right hand. See that? Now this tune here, Stool of Repentance, doesn't have a lot of ornaments anyway. So it's hard to tell. For me, with the Stool of Repentance, it's that serious, edgy twist. So, for instance, in the B part, you got the Irish washerwoman. But then it takes a twist that's edgy. See that? Whereas the regular Irish washerwoman... oh, that's the swallowtail. The regular Irish washerwoman... See that? Now that makes sense, right? That's like saying yes when somebody asks you if you want a drink. It just makes sense. You don't have to think about it. It totally drops in there. But when you do the Scottish, it takes this twist. You see what I mean? Edginess, these edgy intervals, I guess. But what the tune that I like to use to show the difference between Scottish and Irish fiddling is a tune called the Star of Munster. So the Star of Munster, it's actually an Irish tune, but we play it a lot in Cape Breton. Ever since I was a kid, I've been playing the Star of Munster, okay? And when I heard it here in Toronto, I thought, what the hell is that? Is it even the same tune? I was like, what the hell? So let me just show you the difference. So first I'll play it the Cape Breton way. That's the way I grew up playing it. Now I'll play it the way I had to learn here to stop the Irish people from scowling at me. You hear that difference there, eh? It's like one sounds like a guy chopping wood, and the other one sounds like a bird singing. You know, and the other thing that I might point out is that my dad also said that the Irish guy wants a bow that never ends. He hates to turn around, and he'd rather have just the continuous bow that never ends. And it is true. And if you notice my bowing style there, I went from to this. See that? They stretch it all out in one bow there. And they call that the long bow style. And basically what it is, you know, all of us fiddlers accent the backbeat in a reel. Especially the old-timey guys. All of us, every tradition, when you're playing in 4/4, it's kind of like rock and roll, you know? And so, but the Irish guys take it to the extreme. And they slur everything in the up bow except the backbeat. See that? And that's how they get that. That's why I often use that long bow style to try to help what I call regular white people, feel this backbeat type of thing. It forces the issue. If you bow a tune that way, you have no choice but to pull out the backbeat every time without fail. See that? So I often use that, but it might not be your prefer. Maybe you don't like Irish that much, but it does help with that understanding of the backbeat. So does that answer your question, Bev? Kinda?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
It's a good question, and there's been like books written about it and everything, you know? It's always very interesting to me. Then the guy in Donegal, Johnny Doherty, the great fiddle player from Donegal, which is the northern part of Ireland where lots of Scottish influence is, he used to have a famous saying, the difference between Scottish and Irish music is a thin sheet of paper. And I love that. I always love that. Okay? Anyway, any other? Yes, Melody?
So, with the pockets of Irish population in Newfoundland, so is that, or do they play more Irish stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like for instance in Newfoundland, they don't play very many reels. They play a lot of what they call singles, which are actually Irish polkas from County Kerry, the very southern part of Ireland, where most Newfoundlanders came from. I mean, I shouldn't say that now. You know, people often dismiss the English influence in Newfoundland. Because, yeah, there was lots of Irish, but there was way more English to go to Newfoundland. So many English people. It was where they sent people they didn't like. That's probably why a lot of Irish people ended up there. But, like, for instance, and they also play slides. In Southern Ireland, they play something called slides. And that's really what the Newfoundland music sounds like. So, here's an example of some slides. Okay, so that's a Southern Irish slide. It's kind of like a jig, but slightly different. You hearing that? Definitely faster. Here's a couple of Newfoundland tunes. See what I mean by that?
Has anyone ever done a cross-Canada trip of all different tunes from the different areas?
Not really. We're all too protective of our genres.
Oh.
But I don't really know. You know, that's a good question. I don't really know of any projects that actually do that. You know, there's one tune that goes right across the whole country, and it's St. Anne's Reel. You know, St. Anne's Reel is the pan-Canadian tune. Also, Big John McNeil is another one. That's another one. So I know a guy in Manitoba said that he played a dance one time in Manitoba where all the band played all night was Big John McNeil.
That's apparently Manitoba's anthem. That's the joke about it. It's their anthem, they say.
Yeah, I believe them. And actually, when I went up to Northern Ontario, I teach at in Weckwemikong in Manitoulin Island.
I'm from there, that area.
Oh, really? So you know Wiki? Weckwemikong?
My dad lived on Manitoulin.
Okay, there you go. So Weckwemikong is a unceded Ojibwe territory. So they've never had a treaty. They're not a reserve. They're just a community that has always been there. And I go, well, back before the pandemic, I went up there to teach fiddle at the school, at the local middle middle school, elementary school, for 1 week out of every month to teach the kids fiddle, because they had a lot of great fiddle players up there back in the 70s, and they lost a generation of fiddle players. Nobody was interested, and so the Board of Education wanted to bring fiddle back to the community, and so they got Strings Across the Sky, which is the organization I work for, and me and my buddy Graham, who plays the guitar, go up there and we teach these kids for a week out of every month, and it's really awesome. And so when my first week there, I had a really great helper. Her name was Ruby John. She's from right across the water in Michigan, comes from the same group of people, also Ojibwe, and she was like a wicked player, great fiddle player. I met her at Algoma Trad. I taught her, actually. She was only little, but now she's grown up, and she was helping me teach. And we went into each class to introduce ourselves. And I was like, geez, Ruby, what do you think we should play? Like, just a couple of jigs or something? She was like, Big John McNeil. You have to play Big John McNeil. And so we did. Every class we played Big John, and those kids were up on their feet every time, So it really is a tune that has reached everybody. Now that tune there, Big John, although it goes across the country, you don't hear different versions. It's
Can you play it
always...
for everybody?
Oh, sure. It's always the same version. I'll play it for you now. And I always tell everybody, if you want to work on A major, just play Big John McNeil. There's Big John. See that? A great tune. It's a wicked tune. And we play it lots in Cape Breton as well. And you can see how it's a study in the key of A. It uses all 4 strings, and you can hear the big arpeggios and the big scale down and all that. So it's really good for working on that key, and it is a tune you're going to use. Now, like I said, though, that's not a tune that has different versions across the country like St. Anne's Reel. So when I played St. Anne's Reel, it was growing up, it sounded like this. And then I came to Toronto with Irish people, and they were like, yeah, that's all right, but we play it like this. See that? And I was like, oh, okay. So, of course, I just learned both. I always think it's better to have everything. Don't you think? It's better to have a buffet.
How does Letterman play that? Anne?
She plays it in the Canadian way with the long F. And that's the way I describe it, is the long F. Instead of the... See that? Yeah. And then, yeah, the middle of the country, it's a simplified again. It's a little bit simpler version of the tune they play there. And then you go to BC. And the weird thing about BC is all the hippy dippy weirdos that kind of play really strange versions of this music. And at one time that was new, but all those hippy dippies are now like 60, and so it's not new anymore. It's just the BC style. And it's totally cool. And it's actually, there's some guys from there that are absolutely beautiful players. They're more free. They're not tied down to the tradition like us, like I had this fella here to contend with, and, so they're not like that. They just play whatever, and it's cool. It's beautiful. Anyway, so there you go, guys. So tonight we got the Stool of Repentance, and we practiced our A major scale and arpeggio, which I still hope you keep up with. And then maybe next time we'll learn Big John. Since we're going to be working on the key of A, we'll learn Big John. And if you already know it, I'm going to help you play it really nicely in tune with good bowing that's going to work. Because that tune, if you don't bow it right, it can be very tricky. Very tricky, unnecessarily, you know?
We played it today in the Thursday group. I couldn't keep up with it.
Okay, I can help. I can help. I have a few tricks. Check this out. Watch my left hand when I play Big John. How little it moves. See that? I plunked my first finger down on 2 strings there, and then all I got to do is a little bit of a nudge and a push and a nudge, and the whole thing is done. See, that's all smoke and mirrors, man. You know, we're fake it till you make it, the young people say. Okay, see that?
It's long.
Now that looks like it's fully written out. All completely written out from one end to the other. Because it's a regular length too.
But it's AAB1, AAB2. That's why it's written out.
Okay, interesting. You want to have maybe send me that and I'll take a look at it, see what's going on with
It's
that.
Peter Milne, 1824.
Cool. That's great.
I don't know, maybe you have it. I'll send it, and if you have an easier version, I'd be really happy. Because I find this one hard.
No, that's all to say. That's it, man. Sorry, can't help you. No, I can definitely help. Like I said, it's just a few tricks and a few things that that we can work on to get something like that and more. All right? So if there's no more questions, I'd like to try Stool of Repentance a couple of more times now that I've distracted you long enough. We'll see if it's sunk in there. And then we'll call it a night. And then next week, I'll send out the music for Big John, right? After we're done. Also, I should point out that these classes that we do every week, I'm going to record. I'm recording it right now. So I send you guys a link to the Zoom website where the recording is, okay? Now, and you can access it anytime you want. You can go back and get the bits and pieces of the tunes. I noticed, Melanie, you were recording me on your phone. You don't need to, because if it's not on the Zoom server, I also am recording it on QuickTime, and I'll post it onto a YouTube channel that's just for our class, okay? It'll be called, it's under Dan McDonald Fiddle Teacher, and it'll be called Intermediate Fiddle Class. And I'll send you the link for it, and you can go there and watch the class anytime you want and get the bits and pieces of the tunes if they elude you, okay? So let's try the old Stool of Repentance a couple of more times before we call her a night. All right. 1, 2, 3, and... right. Any survivors? Any casualties?
We're all still on the island.
That's great. Right on. Nobody fell off yet.
Thank you, Dan.
No problem, guys. And please feel free to get in touch with questions if you have questions at all.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you very much. Bye, everybody. See you next week.
Thanks a million. See you next week.